morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching JanataTelevision and this is the English Bulletin with me, Sushant Dhakal. The top stories first. The government says no biased decisions were made in the Lalita Niwas land scam. Minister Baskota says the government will follow court orders. Party Congress says the CIA is under due influence of the NCP and its power hub, says the case against Congress Vice President reeks of malafide intentions. Media Council bill passed by the National Assembly. Communication Minister hails the bill as instrument of justice. Leader of notorious terror group Al-Qaeda killed in US airstrike. White House declares the assassination significant movement. And Spanish Copa del Rey produces shock quarterfinal results. Barcelona and Real Madrid both out of the competition. And now the news in detail. The government says it hasn't favored anyone in the Lalita Niwas land scam for investigation to filing of case. Speaking at the press release program to release the cabinet meeting's decision on Thursday, Communication Minister Gokul Prasad Baskota said the government has not made any biased decisions. He informed that the cases were filed in phases by dividing the severity of offence based on the involvement in the Balwata land scam.
विजय गच्छेदार माथिको कारबाही चाहिँ पूर्वाग्रही त्यो कुरै भएन विष्णु पौडेलको नाम भन्दा नि उहाँको छोराको नाम जोडिएर आएको छ हैन त्यो विष्णु पौडेलको छोराको नाममा चाहिँ तेस्रो श्रेणीको कति नम्बरमा उहाँले किनेको हो पहिलो दोस्रो तेस्रो चौथो त्यस नाममा त यो चाहिँ उनीहरुले जग्गा चाहिँ 65 जना त्यस्ता छन् र तिनीहरुले चाहिँ जग्गा फिर्ता गर्नु पर्यो.
Minister Baskota further informed that since the legal procedures have already been set in motion, the government will act according to it.
उनीहरुको जग्गाको सन्दर्भमा विभिन्न खालको कुरा छ प्रक्रिया सुरु भयो अब अदालतमा गएको छ र अदालतले जे फैसला गर्छ त्यो नै अन्तिम फैसला हुन्छ त्यो नै सरकारले कार्यान्वयन गर्ने हो सरकारको एक प्रकारको काम सक्यो.
Minister Baskota further stated that quarantine areas in Shivapuri, Ichangu Narayan and Surya Binayak are being prepared to host all the Nepali nationals after they are brought back from China.
यो शिवपुरीको ब्यारेक इचाङको नारायण अथवा सूर्य विनायक अथवा चाहिँ खरिपाटी कुन ठाउँ त्यस्तो उपयुक्त हुन्छ जहाँ उहाँहरुलाई लिएरैसकेपछि 14 दिन जुन राख्नुपर्ने हुन्छ त्यो राखेर लैजानु पर्ने हुन्छ.
Minister Baskota has asked everyone in China to be patient as the Prime Minister has already ordered for the quarantine areas to be created and all those stranded will be brought back to Nepal. Nepali Congress has said that the Commission of Investigation of Abuse of Authority, CIA, has fallen prey to the influence of government and the NCP. Speaking at the press release organized on Thursday, Congress spokesperson Biswa Prakash Sharma said the decision made by the CIA against Congress Vice President Vijay Kumar Gachadar is uncalled for and was made under clear influence of the power hub within the government. Sharma further said Congress has always urged a just decision to be made in the Balwata land scam, but it will not accept a decision that are made under the influences of the government.
नेपाली कांग्रेस पार्टीले आम नागरिकको भावना जस्तै नेपाली कांग्रेस पार्टी र अन्य राजनीतिक दलहरूले पनि बालुवाटारको जग्गा प्रकरणको गहिरोसँग गम्भीरसँग गहनसँग अनुसन्धान गरिनुपर्छ तहकीकात गरिनुपर्छ र त्यो तहकीकात पश्चात दोषीहरूलाई दण्डित गरिनुपर्छ नेपाली कांग्रेस पार्टीले निरन्तर माग राख्दै आएको विषय हो. तर सुरुवातदेखि नै सरकारले आफ्नालाई जोगाउने र अरूलाई फसाउने भन्ने ढंगको मनोविज्ञान राखेको तपाईं हामीले यस बीचमा पाएकै थियौं.
Spokesperson Sharma said the responsibility of the decision made from the parliamentary process under Prime Minister's jurisdiction should be with the Prime Minister, and blaming a single minister for the decision of the Parliament is nothing short of malice.
नेपाली कांग्रेस पार्टी आज यो प्रकरणमा प्रधानमन्त्रीहरूले उन्मुक्ति प्राप्त गर्ने र सम्बन्धित मन्त्रीमण्डलका 3 दर्जन भन्दा बढी मन्त्री 4 दर्जन भन्दा बढी मन्त्री रहेको मन्त्रीमण्डलको एउटा मन्त्रीलाई त्यही कारणमा कारबाहीको रूपमा हाल्दै गर्दा के तथ्य हो, त्यो तथ्यको खोजी, त्यो तथ्यको उपर प्रश्न गर्नु स्वाभाविक विषय भएको छ। त्यसैले अन्त्यमा फेरि पनि म दोहोर्याउन चाहन्छु कि बालुवाटारको जग्गा प्रकरणको गहिरो छानबिनका लागि नेपाली कांग्रेस पार्टीले, अन्य राजनीतिक दलहरूले, सङ्घ संस्थाहरूले, मिडियाले निरन्तर आवाज उठाएको विषय हो।
Sharma, however, made clear that Congress will always be in support of a just and serious investigation in the case of Balwatar land scam. The Parliament meeting was adjourned yesterday after continued protest from the lawmakers of the Nepali Congress. The Nepali Congress obstructed the parliamentary meeting, stating that the case filed against the current Vice President of Nepali Congress, Vijay Kumar Gachedar, was a result of vengeful intentions. The Nepali Congress MPs stood up and started their protest immediately after House Speaker Agni Sapkota announced the start of the meeting. The Nepali Congress has blamed the CIA for meddling with the democratic process to create a case against Gachedar with the intention to create prejudice. A legal question has also been raised against the statement of the CIA in which it says it will acquit the Congress leader if the encroached land is returned back. The Nepali Congress has warned that it will not stay put and listen to the biased orders dished out by the government. Speaker Sapkota eventually called the meeting off and rescheduled it for today afternoon. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. We continue with other national news. Nepal Media Council Bill 2076 has been unanimously endorsed by the National Assembly on Thursday. The most debated provision of the Media Council Bill that required the journalists to appear for a licensing exam has been scrapped. The controversial proposal of qualification exam for journalists to obtain these licenses has been removed after it sparked much controversy and criticism from the media fraternity. The amendment of the bill to scrap the qualification exam for journalists was proposed by lawmaker Himlal Bhattrai of the ruling Nepal Communist Party based on the agreement with the Legislation Management Committee. The bill was endorsed by the upper house after Minister for Information and Technology Gokul Prasad Baskota agreed to remove the qualification provision of the bill. Earlier, speaking at the interaction regarding the bill, lawmaker Komal Wali had stated that Nepal's constitution as well as International Bill of Rights has guaranteed complete freedom of press as an essential of democracy. Answering the queries of MP at the upper house, Minister Baskota said the main essence of the new Media Council bill is to provide justice to the victims of the media. And now the news from the economic front. The Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal, CAN, said it will invest Rs 335 billion for the construction of infrastructure in the aviation sector over the period of 5 years. According to Pradeep Adhikari, director of CAAN, the authority plans to spend Rs 250 billion for international aviation infrastructure and its related land acquisition. Out of the amount, the government will spend Rs 150 billion for the first phase of construction work at Nijgarh International Airport. Similarly, the authority plans to spend the remaining amount for full-fledged operation of the Tribhuvan International Airport, Pokhara Regional International Airport and Gautam Buddha International Airport. CAN had invested Rs 89 billion in air infrastructure in the past 2 years. A large amount of that money was spent on land acquisition worth Rs 33 billion and the remaining 49 billion was spent for the construction of infrastructure of the international airports. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international news. And now the international news. Leader of notorious terror group Al-Qaeda has been killed in a US airstrike in Yemen yesterday, CNN reported. The leader, Qasim al-Rimi, who led the terror group's franchise in Yemen, had been prime US target for months before he was finally killed. The US government had offered a $10 million reward for information on Rimi. The New York Times has quoted American officials as saying Rimi's death could represent a significant blow to the Al-Qaeda affiliate, which remains one of the most potent branches of the terrorist group. The Yemen branch, Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, has tried to attack the United States and Europe and is thought to still want to. Al-Qaeda and Islamic State leaders have been targeted in the past by American military or CIA drone strikes, only for United States officials to learn later that the militants had survived. That has made American officials more cautious about declaring these kinds of strikes as successful. Rimi's death further degrades AQUAP and the global Al-Qaeda movement, and it brings us closer to eliminating the threats these groups pose to our national security, CNN quoted the White House statement released on Thursday. A Chinese doctor who made attempts to send early warnings about the life-threatening novel coronavirus has died, according to Wuhan Central Hospital, AP reported. The doctor has been identified as Li Wenliang and was known as the Chinese whistleblower doctor by the media. Li warned the public about potential SARS-like disease in December 2019. Li had sent out a warning to fellow medics on 30 December, but the Chinese police told him to stop making false comments, the British broadcasting company has reported. Dr. Li, 34, was initially declared dead at 9:30 local time, and the news triggered a huge wave of popular reaction on Weibo, China's equivalent of Twitter, BBC reports. The People's Daily sent out a tweet saying Dr. Li's death had sparked national grief. Meanwhile, People's Daily of China has quoted Chinese President Xi Jinping, who on Thursday said that China will continue to work with other countries to fight the novel coronavirus outbreak in an open and transparent manner, and called on countries around the world to abide by the recommendations of the World Health Organization. US President Donald Trump has celebrated his impeachment acquittal by blowing up his rivals and calling them evil. BBC has quoted President Trump saying, "I've done things wrong in my life, I will admit, but this is what the end result is," Trump said as he held up a newspaper headline, "Trump acquitted. We went through hell unfairly. We did nothing wrong," Trump said at the White House. "It was evil, it was corrupt." Trump had earlier criticized impeachment foes who invoked their religious faith, BBC reports. "Now we have that gorgeous world. I never thought it would sound so good." BBC quotes Trump speaking at White House, which was crammed with supporters and cabinet officials. "It's called a total acquittal," Trump said. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. Barcelona's hope of reaching a seventh successive Copa del Rey final have ended at the quarter-final stage with defeat by Atletico Bilbao. The tight contest was decided in the third minute of stoppage time when Spanish forward Iñaki Williams headed in the goal. Lionel Messi made his 75th appearance in the Copa del Rey, equaling the club record by Josep Samitier, but failed to convert a good chance late on in the game. There was another cup shock earlier when Real Madrid lost to Real Sociedad 3-4. Real Sociedad's Martin Odegaard scored against his parent club to help send Real Madrid out of the Copa del Rey in a 7-goal quarterfinal. It means for the first time since 2010, the Copa del Rey final will feature neither Barcelona nor Real. The two surprise results come a day after second-tier side Mirandes defeated Villarreal 4-2. Granada, who overcame Valencia 2-1, makes up the semi-final lineup. Formula One will look to reschedule the Chinese Grand Prix if it cannot be held on its original date because of the coronavirus outbreak. The event is due to be held in Shanghai on 19th April but is in doubt with the disease having killed more than 560 people. Ross Brown, Formula One Managing Director, said the race will be postponed if there is a probability it does not happen in April. The situation was discussed at a meeting of F1's strategy group of bosses and teams on Wednesday with no conclusion. F1 is waiting for the Chinese authorities to make a decision on the race. Trying to slot China in once the run of end-of-year long-haul races begins will be tricky, as teams might need to travel every week to destination thousands of miles apart, BBC reports. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin, and the headlines once again. The government says no biased decisions were made in Lalita Niwas land scam. Minister Baskota says the government will follow court orders. The party Congress says the CIAA is under influence of NCP, and its power hub says the case against Congress Vice President reeks of malafide intentions. Media Council bill passed by the National Assembly. Communication Minister hails the bill as instrument of justice. Leader of notorious terror group Al-Qaeda killed in US airstrike. White House declares the assassination as significant movement. And Spanish Copa del Rey produces shock quarterfinal results. Barcelona and Real Madrid both out of the competition. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.